us here. Oh, here we go. There we go. I really appreciate this opportunity to engage with this amazing group. Cindy, and also it's kind of funny because Cindy sent us information, and then Kristen Gunderson sent us information at the same time, and I was laughing. I was like, okay, I'm confused. Who's with who? And so actually both of these amazing ladies sit on our board of directors. So Kristen's been on our board for about 5 years, a little over 5 years, I think. Is that correct, Kristen? Yep. Okay. So just to kind of give you a little background on the Mueller House, we are expecting to have somebody in there by the end of this month. We're thinking probably week after, the end of next week or the week after. We have 2 potential residents, and I know Carmen can probably speak a little bit more to that exactly of dates coming in. I know she was working, was performing the intakes for these young ladies. This really is, we created the Mueller House as a pilot project because we had kids sleeping at the Loves, and then they were sleeping in the stall and then taking a shower and then walking across a field basically to our high school. And then Buc-ee's came, and we started to see similar situation. They don't have a shower there, but they have a clean bathroom. And so we, recognized recognized along with the school district that there was truly an issue there. And the more we looked into the issue, the bigger it got. And even though we had kids that were couch surfing or staying in unsafe situations for them. And we know that this leads and can lead, and many times does lead to trafficking, sex trafficking. And a lot of times when you think sex trafficking, you're like, oh, they're going from across the border, or they're going across state lines. But trafficking is anytime somebody is dependent on somebody else to support them, and they feel like they either have to engage in a sexual act with them to maintain that safety. So I think that, we recognize really quickly, and a lot of people initially were like, oh, is this going to be a drug house? And I'm like, okay, all the kids that I've been working with that are potentials have, most of them except for 2, have exceptional grades. You would never know by looking at them. They are very well kept. They don't want people to know the situation that they're in. And so our goal is to provide wraparound services to be able to make sure that, and this is where the 12 bed versus a 50 bed or 100 bed is so important, is we are not cattle herding. We are looking for quality versus quantity. And so our expectation is that these kids, when they get to the other side of us, they're going to know how to connect with somebody else and build some trust in those connections, that they're going to know how to interview and probably hopefully have gainful employment, or are on their way to gainful employment through education. So whether they're going to college, whether they're going to a trade school, or even whether they're doing shadowing and learning a trade with someone. I know I just talked to a resident the other day that's interested in doing real estate. Well, she's not old enough to do real estate yet, but she could probably work in a real estate agency and work through that and learn those things. So we really, and a lot of the kids, we had a kid come and say he wanted to learn how to weld because it makes a lot of money. Well, we hooked him up with somebody. He went for 1 day and he said, yeah, I'm not welding. And I said, why? It's hot in Texas, and it's hot to weld because you're wearing long sleeves, you're wearing a mask. And he said, I've never sweat so much in my life. He said, I thought I was going to pass out like 6 times. I don't want to do that. I don't care how much money it is. So we want these kids to kind of have an opportunity through our mentoring program. And we're going to be teaching financial stability. We're going to be teaching food and nutrition, where they recognize that the dollar menu off at Taco Bell or any other fast food is not nutritional value, and that they actually can make food in one setting to last them a few times and freeze it, and really how to shop for that, really how to make the most of what they have. And so then I think the other piece is how they can share their experience with somebody that's coming behind them. so that they can see when somebody's coming behind them, oh man, okay, you were here. And look, oh my gosh, you're there. And so we're super excited. These kids are going to be ready to leave. And they're going to be provided that structure and stability with wraparound services. The only thing that we cannot require of them is counseling. However, we strongly encourage it, and it's free. But we can slip some of that in through case management. I really do want to give, Rose has been really working hard towards this with Cindy. I really want to give Carmen a minute just to say her piece, if that's okay, just so she can kind of share where we're at. Carmen, do you mind just sharing for a minute?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'm so glad to be a part of Family Ties. I am the Director of Transitional Housing for the Mueller House, and I've started here, actually it's a month today. So time doesn't mean anything when you have a goal, but I just want to put that out. It is my 1 month anniversary here. I'm super excited to join the team. As Heather stated, we are looking forward to having 2 residents come in actually pretty soon. So we've been making sure that the Mueller House is up to par, making sure that we have the right things in place, the applications are in place, and also to make sure that when they come, they receive the basic needs that they require. So shelter, water, and food is primary. That gives us the opportunity to kind of dive a little bit to the actual circumstances in which they were led to us. And so we want to be able to work with them for self-sufficiency, financial planning, as Heather stated, and also to give them that sense of security. I think a lot of times when they're matched with so much on the outside world and family, that they just really not just want a place to stay, but they want to be able to feel safe and secure in this place that they're now going to be calling their home. So we want to be able to pull everything together. I know one thing that we're trying to really focus on is sponsorship, because we do have 12 rooms, and sponsorship is going to be huge right now because we anticipate this to be filled up quickly. And so we do have the 12 rooms. So getting that out is very important. The sponsorship amounts, they'll range anywhere from a smaller donation to help with clothing, to help with the basic necessities, to actually sponsoring a full room. And that's what we actually want, is we want the actual room to be sponsored. That's going to give our residents, the whole gamut of supportive services. And so I wanted to invite everyone who has not stopped into our facility to actually come in, and then you can see for yourself the atmosphere, the security plans we've laid out, the actual rooms, our beautiful tables and things. Cindy has been so instrumental, and we call her our beautification queen because she has a knack and an eye for putting pieces together. So I really want to thank Cindy for all of her hard work, and Heather for her, of course, her vision and her planning. But our main concern right now is, yes, to get the residents in, but we want to be able to actually have that financial backing as well, so we can maintain and keep them here. So I thank you guys so much for your support. I think it's a refrigerator or the freezer, whatever was donated will definitely be useful, because we will need that extra storage for our residents. I don't know if I could show you our kitchen with the Zoom real quick, or maybe one of the rooms, just to get an idea of what we actually have. I am fishing a little bit because I want you to actually come here physically, but we do have rooms that are set up. And so we thank you for all your support thus far, and any partnerships we can, of course, get going. We really would greatly appreciate that. The residents are our lifeline as far as making sure that we do our job thoroughly, the right way, and we are changing lives daily. So I thank you so much just for that. Appreciate it.
One of the reasons we got involved in it too is that you don't realize how messed up, like we're all fairly normal people and, you know, are capable of raising children and not, you know, completely messing them up. But the amount of people that are on, parents that are on drugs, that are just useless. You see them on social media, are in all over the place, how completely useless they are sometimes. And then they have children and they either dump their kids or they want someone else to raise them. And so some of these kids, I believe, are coming through, either their parents have been murdered. That's another thing, that was one of them. And they don't have a place to go, or they're with a step parent and the step parent's useless. And so I personally have someone that I used to take care of, that I had custody of for a brief period of time, that if she ever needed, she would need this down the road. And so for me, getting involved in Mueller House, if we can save, I think Heather said it best, if we can save 12 people at a time, what a difference we can make. Because this 12 people that aren't living on the street are living, you know, bed surfing. And so that's important to us. And so one of the things that we did is we just, like, I like to make things pretty and cute. And so Carmen and I are one-on-one on that. And I had my husband and one of our contractors make this huge farm table, so that everyone that's there, because they haven't had like maybe a great family life, can be there as a family and sit at the table. So we, you know, had this phenomenal table made and chairs so they can sit there and learn what a family looks like. Someone had told me, I had custody of a little girl, and she went back, and someone told me that that made me really think about that. They had difficult time growing up, and they had 1 year of living of a normal family, and that saved her, and she's now a productive person. So if we can give these people coming through the ability to see what normal looks like, that's such an impact. And so that's why we've chosen Family Ties as our organization, because I think it's going to be so impactful. So that's for us. So we also have an event coming up September 9th in Cyprus that I'll be sending out to everybody too, but it's a huge fundraiser. But we appreciate everything y'all are doing for us.
And Stephanie has, I believe, a flyer and a QR code. I'm going to let her pop that up. And Stephanie, any last words or about this?
Okay, sorry, I was muted at the same time. Okay, so this is the QR code. It's just Venmoing me. I love that my picture is right in the middle. How lovely is that? So this is just a Venmo. If you do not have Venmo and you want to donate, just message me directly. I can put my information in the chat. But we are looking, like I said, to raise just a little over 3,000, and we're at 1,140. So we're getting there. If anyone is willing to help with this and is also interested, it looks like they're looking for sponsorships as well for rooms. If there's anyone that you know that's looking to help with that, great tax write-off. I'm sure Kristen can speak to that as well. So it's great for businesses to get involved. It's a good way to give back to the community that we live in and work in. So if you have any questions, want to reach out to me directly or anyone in the group, we're all happy to help you just to kind of understand where the money is going, how it's going. And I think that's just about it, unless anyone has a question.
There was one question of what is the age group of the kids moving in?
Okay, I can go ahead and answer that. We have two different groups that for the Mueller House specifically, it is 17 if they're emancipated, if we can get them emancipated, and then 18. So it would either be 17 to turning 20, like if they're 21, once they're 22, they do have to leave. So it really is 17 to 22. So they have to have started their year at 21 to be able to stay there for up to a year. And then the other piece of that is we have a drop-in center that is kind of a little bit a part of this program, and that is actually 14 to 22. And so drop-in center, we wanted a safe place for kids to run away to, basically. So we'd rather them run away to us than to go and hitch a ride at Love's or, you know, Buc-ee's or somewhere else. And so that we can provide that, you know, that support for them. Unfortunately, we We do not have a child licensing certification, and we really don't want that, honestly, but we do want to intervene and stop something from happening, and then try to build back with those parents or make appropriate reporting. So for the Mueller House itself, it is going to be 17 to 22.
Great, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing everything about this. I'm going to stop the recording.